All right, for one of my wonderful customers' requests, I have just a short video highlighting some of our more unique, stranger looking plants. So I'm just going to go through and do that right now. I have in the stapeliad family, first of all, one of our hoodeas. Hoodeas all the time look just a little bit strange. This is the Gordoni. It has fresh growth. You can see the more green areas are all fresh growth. It has the really beautiful, unique, otherworldly flowers, the flowers of which are on our Facebook page, Gomer's Gardens on Facebook. So you can see what those look like. They're really amazing. So it looks kind of strange all the time, but when it gets its flowers, it is so super cool. In fact, I actually do have one that has some flower buds right now. I can go ahead and show that real quick. All right, so these are some of the flower buds we have on our hoodia. This is one that it's my personal hoodia. I don't do anything with it. I don't take cuttings from it, nothing like that, just because it is my own personal one. You can see some of the flower buds, and these are actually where the flower was originally, and hopefully we'll be having seed on that one. So they're really cool, unique looking plants that just, they're really amazing. One of my favorites for sure. All right, so back to these. Right here we have a Huernia sudanensis. So this Huernia sudanensis has these absolutely spectacular yellow with burgundy spots and stripes flowers that open. This one's just coming out of dormancy, so it's not the prettiest, but it always does look a little bit strange. I actually can show you some prettier varieties over here. We have quite a few of them, so you can see all the fresh new growth on these ones here. This is what they look like. Excuse all of the little spider webs on them. We do have quite a few little spiders, not spider mites, but spiders, and I encourage them. I don't mind them a bit. So you can see what the Huernia sudanensis looks like when it's in really good shape after coming out of hibernation. All of these have just come out of hibernation. So even when this one almost died, we had some crazy cold weather here in Arizona this year. I left them out just in the cold just a little too long, so it almost died, but you can see that from the root it is coming back to life. So they are pretty forgiving. We've had a really good time with our Huernia sudanensis. They are quite forgiving, and like I said, they actually are very, very beautiful flowered too. The flowers are just absolutely spectacular. Here's some more. We have quite a few of these. They are a little bit more prolific, so you can take cuttings from them fairly easily. They do look crazy all the time because they have these cool little spines here and the beautiful coloration. Now the colors are going to change depending on if you have them in full sun, or shade. Just whatever you have them in is how the colors are going to change on those. So this is an Orbia, same family, but different species. So this is an Orbia. The Orbias have the more beautiful burgundies on them, and the spines are really, really cool on the Orbias. And this is Cimatubiflora, so it has really pretty flowers as well. There's all different kinds of Orbias. We have more of the Cimatubifloras. These are the Orbia variegatas here. And then, so there's all the Orbias are pretty cool, unique looking. This right here is also a Huernia. It's a crested version of the Huernia. So there's a lot of people are going to the crests because it is kind of like one of the last frontiers, I guess. It's rare that the crests will actually flower, but they just look crazy all the time. They are really awesome. This is a different variety. This is actually Senecio. A lot of people call this the asparagus plant. It does look a little bit like asparagus. They will get other arms that go right on top of them, and they have really amazing, cool, bright orange, red type flowers. Of course, this is the dragon bone. Our dragon bone is very popular. It's one of our most popular ones. It does look just amazing. We have this size for sale. We also have cuttings for sale. The customer who requested this video actually already has a cutting of this, but this is what they look like when they're grown up. This would be a zigzag euphorbia. The euphorbias all do have that crazy otherworldly look that are just really unique. So this is the zigzag. It looks really like it's harsh because of all of the really big spines on it, but it's a really pretty quick growing of the euphorbias. Again, we haven't had any problems with that one at all. Pretty easy. This one right here is a euphorbia tortilis. Tortilis just means twisted. So you can see that it's pretty awesome. Same family as the dragon bone, but just is not the variegated, so it doesn't have the white. This is going to be the euphorbia claviga. So the claviga right here is, again, it's twisted. It's got some beautiful markings on it. This small one. And then this is the euphorbia grunwaldi. And it's been in shade. These are a little bit, they're not cold hardy, so we've had them in the protected greenhouse, the fully covered greenhouse for the all winter, and now we're just trying to get it out into lighter shades so that it can green up again. You can see the fresh new growth on it is just really pretty. All right, so moving on to, well, actually, let's do the Horatia first. So this is a Horatia. These are a little bit more common. You'll see them more often. And they're just really pretty. So they're a really beautiful plant. We have some of our astrophytums here. Excuse me, my cat's going to help here. Lacey. Sorry about that. So we have one of our astrophytums right here. This is a hybrid. And it's got the beautiful, beautiful variation on it. Variegata here. To get them this size with this much color on them is actually really rare. They're hard to grow when they have the beautiful oranges and yellows, and they're a little bit more tender, so they don't grow as easily. So when you get them to be that size or bigger, it's actually quite a feat. This right here is one of our hybrids as well. This is a hybrid of a Astrophytum asterius, and it was an Astrophytum asterius supercabuto actually, and Astrophyta myriostigma. So that's one of the hybrids, and I haven't seen these for sale actually anywhere else, and it's got some of the variegata on it as well. So it is really, really beautiful. I love these ones. We only have a couple of them. They're, to me, look like something out of the sea. So I have a few cactus as well. Actually, the Astrophytum are classified as cactus, but these right here, this is a pronunciation on this one is difficult for me. Gymnocalcium, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's just absolutely a beautiful cactus. It's getting ready to flower. I've had a couple of these in this family flower already, and the blooms are just amazing. Again, the flowers are on my Gomer's Gardens on Facebook. Right here we have a stenocactus. A lot of people call this a brain cactus because it's got these cool little waves. It looks like a brain. And it just got finished flowering. I'm hoping that there's seeds on it, so I haven't picked that flower off. Then we have our Tetracactus articulus, and this is, people call this paper cactus because these tines are like paper. They're thin and they're soft. They are really cool. This is what they look like when they get a fresh new head on them. It's a little bit wild and funky. And then of course we have our Opuntia monocanthus monstros variegata, or Joseph's coat. You can see the different colors. So these ones were in pure shade for quite a while, so they've got this deep fuchsia color on them, and this isn't the best example because it's got some scarring on it, but this will be used as one of our mother plants. They propagate very easily. They're prolific, so they're pretty quick. Here they are with better coloring. So this is one that was in light shade, so it's got the beautiful pinks and then the lighter greens, the cream colors, and it just grows in these crazy funky ways. I love the Joseph's coat. You can see more variation of it, different types. It's the same plant, just again growing in a different way. We haven't taken any of these little paddles off of this one to propagate, but they are easily propagated, so they're a little bit easier. Of course, any monstrose form, I think they called this one crested, but it's actually a monstrose, and this is just a cirrus cactus, and we bought this one just as an example. We bought it at just a local store, box store. We don't do that often, but we bought it just as an example because a lot of people call things crested when they're not, and so And then this right here is a opuntia as well, just a different variation of one. And these grow very quickly. They're awesome. They're great. You put them in a pot, they will grow super easily. This is a pachypodium. This is Gaia right here. Gaia. You can see the spelling of it. And these are a little bit harder to grow, at least here in Arizona. But we have been successful in them. We have quite a few of them. Just the biggest part is not overwatering, because they do have a big codex. They do not need a lot of water. So that's the biggest mistake most people have with the pachypodiums. These are going to be some of our more common, I guess they're not really common, but you'll see them more often. These are adromiscus, the different variations of them. They're smaller plants, so they're great, but they are just a little bit unique, some of the different variations of them. And then we have, last but not least, our dicea. So a dicea is in the bromeliad family. It is really cool. This is the latest variation. They probably made more sense. A year ago, this was the latest hybrid that they had, and it is just really beautiful. Right now, it's really taken on the burgundies. It gets a lot greener as it gets in the sun. You can see I have started to put it out in the sun a little bit more, so it's starting to green up a little bit. These are really easy because basically 6 months of the year, you don't do anything with them. You don't water them, you don't touch them. And then 6 months of the year, you can basically drown the suckers, and they love it. So since it's coming out of winter and into spring, I have basically put my all of my diceas into tubs of water and just let them sit in tubs of water. And they had been shriveled in on themselves and not looking fantastic, but as soon as I put them in that water, started giving them a little sun, they just perked up and just started fresh, brand new growth. They are really fun plants. They do look a little bit crazy. Those teeth, believe it or not, are sometimes a little bit sharp, so you want to watch yourself on them, but they're really, really spectacular. So I have a lot more. These are just some of the more uncommon ones, stranger ones. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. A lot of these are not listed on our site because we're still in the process of propagating our inventory. We want to have a really nice inventory before we list a lot of these, and a lot of them also are just coming out of dormancy, and we don't with the dormant plants. They don't look fantastic. That's what they're made for. They're supposed to go dormant, but they just don't look amazing when that happens. So if you have any questions, let us know. We do have quite a few varieties of the stapeliads that we do not have listed. We only have, I think, 2 or 3 of them for sale right now, but we have 70, maybe 80 some varieties of the stapeliads. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.